Hello. What is up, guys? It's Sunday. I figured we'd do a squeaky chair Sunday, squeaky chair Saturday. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a series every day, and alliteration wins. So, anyway, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. Wanted to talk about machines. Mason Cardinal Gaming, not Cardinal Gaming, not to be confused with that Mason, but Mason from Cardinal Gaming left a very interesting comment on one of my videos, which was something to do with, of all the machines that you can buy or something or another, you are the machine. You are a machine. And that really got me thinking, especially in the last week or two with all the, emotions that we've had with where we're going and what we're doing here on this channel. It really got me thinking, and it's absolutely right. And I wanted to go in depth with that a little more, whether you're a new seller or an experienced seller, how much technology really does help, but also you are a machine, both figuratively and literally. It stops and lies with you. If you aren't putting in the work, machines can only do so much, and it requires every ounce of you to really get this stuff done. So before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, if you do not know who I am, my name is Bronzgod. This is my squeaky chair, and we sell together trading cards. God, that's loud. Trading cards on eBay and Tcgplayer. We've been averaging about $40,000 a year, mostly in bulk, and we are looking to exceed that by the end of the year. In addition to that, we do have two other channels, one for gaming and one for our weight loss journey. So if either of those interest you, those are in the description below. And we have a list of affiliate codes that we're working on. So if you want to check out any of those, you can save some money, I can make some money, and we can both win. So yeah, that comment really stuck with me, especially today, because we were cranking today. I think we have 15,000, 20,000 cards that we sorted and listed. I'll go into more depth on those in our eBay and Tcgplayer store updates on Tuesday and Wednesday, but we basically got that box over there, the top one, that is all, actually, that's my order stuff. That entire 5-row of Prismatic Evolutions, that was gone through today. I have an entire 5-row of Destined Rivals in the other room that I just had to bring in here. And then we went through a bunch of the remainder of something. I don't remember what set it was. I think it was just more Pokemon. I can't remember what set, but we sorted a lot. And it is something I like to do. We've talked about that before. And I'm getting back to listing everything. I know a lot of this stuff may not sell. It might take a long time for it to sell. That's okay. I look at that as, I've said it a few times on stream, but I'm looking at that as in case of emergency break glass. There will be a day that I get to have a machine, a big boy sorter, whatever you want to call it. Now's not the time, and that's okay. But I'm not in a rush to liquidate the bulk that I have. And still, even though it was a good deal from back then, I'll have the thumbnail here for the other video, but that was something I needed to do back then, was to liquidate and get some cash and get some things rolling. I'm not too worried about liquidating this stuff unless I absolutely have to, because I know the value that it holds down the road. Whether that be delisting a lot of it and making lots out of it, whether that be, cards that are not valuable now but valuable later. Bulk is one of those things where you can make so much money using it and utilizing it in the right way that obviously you want to get it moving and you want to buy it and get it out as fast as possible. But also, if you've got a bunch of other things happening for you, you might not have to worry about doing that as fast. Now that we have a couple different legs of this business up. We've got the unboxings happening somewhat regularly. I want to get to the point where we're doing that every week, no matter what. Even if it's a break even or a loss, I want to be doing a minimum of 3 cases of something every week with Magic to build that up and really get direct churning. Of those 3 cases, I might take a few boxes and throw them on Mana Pool or somewhere, but that's just something I want to get going on the side. And having a sifter, and having a Roka sorter, and having a fizz batch, and having all that stuff would make things faster and make things easier for me. But I don't need it right now. I've got a good thing going. You probably have a good thing going. And I've had a lot of people ask me, like, hey, I just started. How soon do you think I should get the Fujitsu scanner, the Ricoh 8170 or some other scanner? And my usual answer is I wouldn't recommend buying anything like that for like 6 months. You really need to understand what it takes to go through a 5-row, a 4-row, whether you're sifting, whether you're listing everything, however it is that you're breaking this animal apart for its pieces. You need to understand the DNA that goes behind the work, the manual work, before you start playing with the toys. It gives you a true appreciation of the work involved, and also you need to understand that you're never not going to be doing things manually. When you get technology to help move things along, it is a great boon. I use the Ricoh, I use other stuff, and they're great. But you're always going to do things manually, and I think a lot of people out there, especially people who are starting, think that it's just buy a machine and see money and boom. And that's just not the way it works. When you get to a certain point, maybe, but you're starting off. You might be where I am. I've been doing this for 3 years, and it may not be in the cards for me to have a machine like that for a year or two, and that's okay. And that's okay for you too. If you want to get one, hey, I'm not stopping you and I'm not judging you. You wanna do that? That's perfectly fine. And I hope you do well. I really do. But I mentioned this in the Sunday morning conversation we did yesterday with the Cardboard Baron, who is a fantastic dude. If you guys are not following that man, you need to. He is super down to earth. Lots of good advice. But I mentioned a old early on in Gordon Ramsay's days when he was learning how to cook. He wasn't able to get into the crazy stuff without doing the basics. And I remember stories where he would say he would literally come in and for 10 hours he would just peel onions because he needed to know how to peel onions. You can cook a risotto, you can make beef Wellington to perfection, but all the basic ingredients that you need to make all these fancy dishes, you need to know how they work, how they operate, how to for the food, cut them, for the bulk, how to sort them, how to sift them, how to do whatever chaos sorting or alpha sorting or this, that, the other. You need to know the tiny bits. You need to know the integral parts of this whole thing. And if you don't spend the time doing the basic bare knuckle blue collar, I don't remember what collar is manual labor, but whatever colored collar the labor is, if you're not in there in the trenches doing the dirty work, and you think you're just going to not ever have to do that, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I would strongly consider that you reassess how you do things. Not to say never get a scanner, not to say never try to improve things. You should, and you should use those things as benchmarks for something down the road. I want a sorter. I will eventually get one. Fortunately for me, I'm a masochist and I can sit in front of a box for 12 hours and do nothing but sorting. I love streaming, but I love being by myself sometimes, and it's really hard for me to not stream. Like, this happened over the weekend. I had some Sunday morning conversations to film. And I was talking about how I just picked up some bulk, and I can't remember who it was in our Discord. But I was like, hey, why don't you just fire up a stream and just sort? And even though I couldn't in that moment, in my head, I was like, I really should. But, sometimes I just want to sometimes you just want to be, in your own head and just like not talk to anybody. But still, it's a good idea. And without doing streaming or this, that, the other, it can be a little more difficult to get into a pattern of learning this stuff. And it's something that I have to work on for myself, and it's something that you have to work on too. Just because it's something you don't want to do doesn't mean that it's something that you should completely ignore. So we're going to be working on some stuff down the road. It's going to be good, and we're going to continue to get back into what we know here, which is listing everything and figuring it out from there. And I like having the approach of having a safety net. You may not, and that's okay. But knowing at any point I could spend a half a day and literally delist whatever and bulk it out to someone for however much, sweet. But, we got this Marvel Jumpstart coming in. That's going to be really good. We have these unboxings that have been going pretty well. Once you have all these different tripod legs set up, it makes it a little easier to be a little relaxed on some of the other stuff. And I think that's what's most important. And sometimes when you have all these legs up, you got to get dirty, and you got to get in there, and you got to get out the oily rag and the grease, the elbow grease, and just do it. So hopefully, whether you're starting or you are farther along than me, or you're opening up a third location of your store, you don't lose sight in the fact that you are a machine. It stops with you. It starts with you. You give these cards life. You can throw them in a machine and it can move it along, but you still got to put that effort into that machine. So do me a favor, and the next time you go to improve your business or make technological advancements or whatever, just keep in mind that all that stuff is great. And I hope that you succeed and you grow, but you are a machine, and it stops and starts with you. I figured I'd say that one more time to hammer it home, because it's true. If there's a lot of people, man, nowadays, especially all these people opening new stores, they whine and complain because they can't get product, or they want to buy collections, but they don't want to buy the low value stuff, and that's where you make the money, man. But some people don't learn, and some people will, and the ones that don't, well, hey, we'll be here to buy their cards when they eventually go out of business. I hope that doesn't happen. I want anyone who gets in here, I want it to thrive. The more people out here selling and pushing things, the better. But like any business and any venture, there are some that get it, and there are some that don't. And it's the circle of life, and there's a circle of life in cardboard too. So that's about it for today. The chair's starting to squeak a little bit, which means it's time to go. So we will see you in the next one, and I hope you have a great day. Peace.